And they find out the quirkiest things too about what works. My son said to me, and I don't know if you can tell me why this is, but he said, you know, I have the hardest time reading text in a book, but I can watch foreign films and read the captions for 2 hours straight and I don't get tired.
Well, so that's an interesting point. So this is part of what the kind of the premise of the Davis method is that a dyslexic learner has a lower than typical threshold at which they get confused. And by that I mean, you or I might just be able to press through something and not get confused and then get disoriented and where am I and what's happening. But a dyslexic thinker is much more sensitive to everything around them. They're sensitive to noise, they're sensitive to buzzing fluorescent lights, to the tag in the back of their shirt, the seam on their sock. They didn't have enough breakfast. They're just sensitive to all those things. But it works in their favor because if they're really interested, which is possibly what your son was, interested in the movie, that threshold for confusion goes way up. So my oldest son, who is dyslexic, the one who read at 9, was never much of a fan of school. And but he wanted to fly. He wanted to get his private pilot's license, and his grandpa gave him the lessons. And the kid taught himself to fly. Wow. He read through all the manuals, took all the tests, he did all the paperwork all by himself because he was so motivated. And you know, obviously you have to study some things in school that don't light your fire, and so we need to give them tools to do that. But when they're motivated, they can read and accomplish, you know, amazing things. And just as a little tidbit to throw in, lest, well, as a parent, we worry, what will my kid, I see them struggling, so how will they function in life? Exactly. And so the statistics show that a dyslexic thinker is always average and usually above average in intelligence. And so they have so many unique and amazing ways of thinking, and that the rest of us just, you know, we just pale in comparison. So, but they do have to find their niche.
They do, yeah, and I love that in the book of, you know, The Gift of Dyslexia, and he talks about that, and I read excerpts out, because my son was 16, and I said, listen to this, you know, and it totally changed his composure and attitude towards school when we started approaching it as, this is not an issue, this is a gift. It's just packaged in a difficult way, because, you know, his pursuits and what he wants to do is very much storytelling and book, you know, and movie related, and here he can't read very easily. So that's a struggle, but, you know, God has it all worked out, and so it's just, you know, that's just the way it is.